Hey, lovers. Welcome to another Wednesday and another Cuppa with Katie. So nice to see you. I'm so excited to see who's going to be joining me today. And when you join, please, if you're on the replay, just type in hashtag replay because I like to keep an eye on who's watching. And if you are here live, and there's no one here live yet, so maybe I'll hold off what I'm about to say until they're here live. Then when I see that happening, I'll say, hello, people who are joining live. Say hi, please, as you're joining. Let me know that you're here. Let me know who I'm actually speaking with. And if you need to, remember, give StreamYard permission to use your name, because then that helps me to know who I'm chatting with. Kate, hello, darling. Good to see you, sweetheart. Yay. As you're joining, say hello. So, well, here in Sussex, it's a gloomy old day. We've had a weird few days here. Yesterday, it was the hottest sunshine and then pouring rain, then the hottest sunshine and then pouring rain. Today, it's just freezing and rainy on and off. And I keep having to take the cushions from the outdoor furniture in and out of the house constantly. Now it's just permanently in the house because I'm fed up of taking it in and out. It's the weirdest weather, but global warming, I think. More people are joining, but you're not saying hi. Say hello. Let me know who I'm talking to. Hello, hello. Good to have you all. So I do my Cuppa with Katie show every week, and I never really know what I'm going to talk about until, an hour or two beforehand. Who's this? I'm off sick, but the bonus is I can catch up live for a change. Oh, who's that? And I'm so sorry you're not well. Who is off sick? Can you just type your name for me so I know who I'm chatting to? Hi, Ruth. Good to have you, darling. How you doing? Are you having weird weather like we are in Sussex? It's so odd. So odd. Okay. Oh, Kate. Hello. Good to have you. Oh, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well, darling. No netball for you then. Hey. Lorraine, hello, honey. Good to see you too. Welcome. Oh, Helen's here. Good timing. Just took a break to make coffee. Yeah, I've got my ashwagandha, which turns out I need today because ashwagandha is very calming and soothing, helps your nervous system. It's an adaptogenic herb, so it's all good. But don't really listen to me because I'm just to preface, I am no expert on those things, but I've learned a lot along the way. And I know that ashwagandha is really good for me. Who else is here? Yeah, Kate's saying no netball. No, have a break today. That's good. It's good to take a break. So yeah, as I was saying, I never really quite know what I'm going to be chatting about on the show. And life always guides me. Life always shows me. And I was making my smoothie this morning. And by the way, I don't know, are you getting can you see it? Are you getting like a misty effect? Because I've got my doTERRA oils going here. And it's sort of coming across the screen, creating quite an emotive experience. Anyway, I was making my smoothie this morning, and it kind of just dropped in for me, this idea that here I am, I'm a self-love, love, dating, relationship expert. This is what I do. This is how I'm helping women. The relationship work I'm doing with women is deeply founded in self-love. When I'm working with single women, yeah, the pain point is they're single and they don't want to be. The work, kind of nothing about calling in your person, and it's all about calling in yourself. And there's a bunch of women here who know that. Oh, Kellyanne's joined. Hello, darling. Good to have you. And I was just kind of pondering that while I was making my smoothie this morning, that I host my Cuppa with Katie every week. And there, look, the banner's going across now. Self-love, dating, and relationship master coach. This is true. But I don't often really talk about dating, do I? Not that often. Unless you send me a question. And by the way, you can. If you email support@theschoolofself.love, if you have a question you want me to answer, I will consider that for a future Cuppa with Katie show. And I talk a lot about dating and relationships when I run my 5-day Meet Your Soulmate challenge. And the next one's coming up at the end of June. So we cover a lot of that there. But on these shows, you've probably noticed I don't often go that deep into questions around dating and relationships. little bit about relationships, not so much around dating. It's all about your relationship with yourself. And I thought, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? And then as my morning went on, I found myself not really breathing properly. I could feel myself getting, I'm going to have to move the essential oils because they're just creating too much of an atmosphere here, distracting me. I could feel myself getting a bit out of breath. And I thought, oh, that's weird. And I noticed that I was rushing a bit. Now, usually on a Wednesday, my husband works from home. He has an office in the garden. It's rather lovely. And he does that because on a Wednesday, I have my show and I go to Pilates. And there's certain things in my day on a Wednesday. I take my son to hockey in the evening. Just means my day is a little bit more busy than usual. And for me to manage it, this is the one day of the week that he guarantees he can walk the dog for me. Okay, this is the practical stuff that goes on behind the scenes, right? So that's how he supports me. Otherwise, I deal with the dog all week, and I'm very happy to. My dog walks are my mental and emotional health. It's also good, obviously, physically. And I walk with the dog very mindfully, very consciously. I'm very connected. I use those walks to move through emotions. I use them to think, to feel into my body, to be present. I notice nature. I'm surrounded by people with beautiful gardens, and I really appreciate. This morning I walked past this garden, and this woman has created it's like a piece of art, her garden, and the colors and the variety of flowers is amazing. And I really was praying that she'd come out the front door. She didn't, but I wanted her to come out so I could say thank you for making such an effort with your garden. Because whenever I walk past it in the morning, it makes me so happy. And I notice, and I go into the fields and I walk into the woods, into the forest, and I walk and I go sit by my stream and I receive like a sound bath from the running stream. And anyway, I have my process. So on a Wednesday, though, I'd prefer not to do the walk so that I can fit everything in. James usually does that for me. Today, he couldn't do it. And I found myself kind of beginning to get a bit worked up, a bit het up. Because my mind, remember, we feel our thinking. Okay. So my mind was obviously juggling all the things I had to do today. And for a split second, there was a question of maybe I shouldn't go to Pilates today. Very quickly, I was like, it's my non-negotiable. I'm going to Pilates today. It's a very key part of my week. It's how I take care of myself. And it's my core body strength. It's very important. And it's fun. I really enjoy it. So I noticed myself getting a bit het up, bit. So I just stopped myself. I put my hands on the counter and I said, okay, Katie, it's okay. I said it out loud. It's okay. Put my hand on my heart. It's okay, Katie. It's okay. We're not going to go there. You're good. You've got more than enough time. It's all okay. And I had to remind myself. But I didn't know what was coming. And I thought that what I was feeling was connected to just a slightly busier day than usual. It's really not a big deal. Didn't really make sense, to be honest. The way I was starting to feel a bit out of breath, a little bit panicky, it didn't really make sense because I'm like, I know I can handle today. Today is really not a big deal. And I get to go for a nice dog walk. It's nice, And anyway, so I go about my day, go out for the dog walk. And as I begin walking the dog, there's a reason I'm telling you this, okay? And to preface, if you are a midlife woman, if you are over 40, you might even be a little bit younger, but absolutely, if you are over 40, you are very, very likely to be moving into perimenopause. If you're in your late 40s, you're pretty much guaranteed you're in perimenopause. If you're in your 50s, you absolutely are, and you might even be moving into menopause. And menopause, by the way, is achieved when we have not had a period for 12 months. Then we are officially in menopause, but we can slip backwards and forwards a bit. And it's different for everybody. So I go out on my dog walk and I'm very quickly finding it very hard to breathe. My breath was really shallow. And I'm sharing all of this because I wonder if any of you can relate to anything I'm sharing. As I go on, if you're relating, please share, because ladies, we're freaking in this together, and solidarity and sisterhood is key. Awareness is key. Like, the awareness of what I'm sharing with you today is key. Solidarity and sisterhood is key. Without those two things, we feel very alone and often quite frightened as our body shifts and moves with our hormonal changes. But that's why I'm sharing this with you today, first and foremost, because awareness is everything to helping you take your power back. And sisterhood sharing is like just bringing love into it. You're not alone. Okay. So I'm walking and I can't breathe. I start to not be able to breathe. I'm like, oh, wow. I must be really stressed. I must be more bothered about the day than I realized. You know, we feel our thinking. And I was really checking it out. I'm like, am I though? I'm really not. Like, Ruth, thank you, is saying, experience this so much. I've had it with hormones. Yes, right. Stick with me. Yeah, we're not alone, are we? So I was checking it out. Like, I'm super conscious. I'm very aware of myself. I've been practicing conscious living, transformational living in self-love, self-awareness for years now. So I know myself. I'm like, God, what is it about today? What's going on? I was feeling into some different things going on in our life. Is that creating anxiety for me? What's that about? And I just couldn't pinpoint any one thing. And then I started to think, oh, maybe this is anxiety, and maybe I'm feeling sort of the collective anxiety at the moment. And I genuinely think that's going on for a lot of us, particularly those of us that are particularly empathic. Am I feeling like the collective anxiety of the state of the world and so on? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, it wasn't getting better. It was just getting worse and worse. I couldn't catch my breath. I was breathing like very loud, labored breathing as I was walking just along a flat road, heading towards the fields. Very loud, labored breathing. I had to keep stopping. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm gonna faint in a minute. I couldn't feel my legs. It was like all the blood had drained from my legs, and I couldn't get the oxygen into I couldn't think properly. Oh my God, I'm gonna faint. I felt really clammy, and I felt even more panicky, and kept going, but slowly stopping, moving, and then tears would like suddenly come out of nowhere. And I was feeling really emotional. And then the tears and the panic and the heart rate, and I couldn't feel my legs. And I thought my legs were going to go from underneath me, made me feel scared. And then feeling scared ramps everything up again. I thought, I'm about to have a heart attack. I don't think I'm going to have a heart attack. This must just be anxiety. What is this? I think I might be having a panic attack. What the hell is going on? And I kept having to stop. And then it got so bad, I had to go and lean against a wall and really try catch my breath. And I thought, I'm not going to stay out much longer. And I thought, I need to call someone. I might pass out in the fields in a minute. I need to let someone know. And then the idea of calling somebody and telling them, and I'm not saying never call out for help. Of course, if you feel panicky and you don't know what's going on. And by the way, I knew I wasn't having a heart attack. So, but I guess if you think you're having one, like, okay, just personal responsibility here. Call somebody. I was like, should I call someone? And I could feel myself having I was doing kind of the conversation I'd have with them before calling. And the thought of trying to talk this through with them had me feel not supported, but like I was ramping something up. It even made me feel like I was making more out of this than what was really going on. And that would actually have me feel even more upset and more panicked. So I decided not to call anybody. And I had to stop and sit on a bench in the fields. I knew there was one coming. So I just beelined it to this bench and sat. And then I remembered, oh my goodness, I've spoken to enough perimenopause and menopause experts to know. I know that anxiety is a thing, but panic attacks, yes, they are. And I sat on the bench and I got my phone out, thank God for Google, and I just researched perimenopause panic attack. And I've got tons, there's tons there. So if you want to read about it, Google it. you find out about it as well. And it just was the instant reminder that I needed, that with certain times of the month, with certain hormonal shifts, and I'm due a period like in the next couple of days. So my hormones are really, like, I'm very aware my body is about to have a period, although the timings are usually a bit screwed these days. So I know that emotionally I'm more delicate than usual. I have to take more care of myself. I get a little bit teary. Like, there's certain symptoms that I have, and I know it's that time of the month coming. I'm sure you can relate if you're at this point in your cycle and your life. And so I just reminded myself to be really kind and gentle with myself. I sat on that bench until I fully caught my breath. And I started to feel my power generally coming back because of this awareness of, okay, I'm not having a heart attack. I'm not actually bothered by what I've got on today. This is just a hormonal thing happening to me. So before I go on, I think what I want to share as well is, hey, look, I'm here with you, clearly high functioning, clearly okay. I can still feel the echo of my experience this morning. I can still feel it wouldn't take much for my heart to, I can feel that this panic attack it's just there, it's here. Like, taking care of myself and being gentle with myself today is so key, because I could move into that space quite easily today. And I don't really want to go back there, but I'm going to be gentle with myself. And if I do, at least I can sit and breathe and be at home and take care of myself if it comes up again. But I'm highlighting, hey, I'm here, I'm live, I'm with you, because I'm a high functioning woman, as are most of you. Oh, hi, ladies. Hey, Nita, good to have you, darling. You'll probably have to listen to the replay if you didn't hear the beginning of what I'm sharing. Hi, Layla. Good to have you both. Yeah, I'm a high achieving, high functioning woman. All of my clients are. They're high achieving, high functioning, super cool women. And what we usually don't show to the world is this private stuff going on behind the scenes, which is why I really wanted to bring it up today. I've gone about my day. I haven't seen that many people. I've been to a Pilates class, really enjoyed it, had a giggle, hurt. Didn't tell anybody that I had a pretty significant panic attack this morning out of the blue. It did really scare me until I understood what was going on. I didn't tell anyone. Nobody would know. I haven't called anybody. I haven't texted my husband. I thought, I'm going to wait to do the show and I'll just tell everyone. But us high achieving, high functioning women, this is what we do. We're really good, aren't we, at just showing up and putting on a smile. I'm fine. It's very British as well. How are you? I'm fine. I'm not effing fine. I had a massive panic attack this morning. It scared the shit out of me. It really did, until it didn't, right? Kate, so sorry for you, Katie. I'm so glad you can be gentle with yourself. Thank you. And to say, Dana, hello, darling. So sorry to hear that. Yeah, thank you so much. And I nearly put a little PS on the note before I went live to say, please don't be sorry for me or even say sorry for me, because I'm like, and I receive it and thank you. And it's not what I'm looking for. I just want to share and be real that this happens sometimes to some women, and it's hormonal. Hey, Lindy, good to have you. Hi. This happens. And it's really important to remember that you don't have to be so brave. It's okay to share with trusted people. This is why I have the Love Lounge, my membership. It is a space where women who might have experienced something like I've just described will come in and share it. And then other women, in fact, a woman the other day was very, very honest and vulnerable about all sorts of things she's been feeling and wondering, is this hormonal? And like 20 women immediately came in with, yeah, I've been there. I felt that. I felt this. I experienced that bit worse than you. And instantly there was that solidarity. She wasn't on her own anymore. None of the women were on their own anymore because they were openly sharing. And the awareness was instantly healing for that woman. We take our power back. This is what it's about. Layla's saying, glad to see you here, and we'll love that you're showing. Great. Thank you, Dana. Kellyanne, I really hear you. It's hard to find trusted people. So glad for the Love Lounge. Right? It is. They exist, though, and there's lots of them. It's just about finding the safe space in your particular tribe, and that's what we're creating in the Love Lounge. Let me have a sip. Let me have another sip because it's really good. So how the hell is this relevant to relationships and dating? Well, it is, because thank you, Layla. Yeah, it is relevant because it's quite hard to relate to other people, whether you're single or in a relationship. It's very hard to relate to other people when you've got this sort of stuff going on behind the scenes. It requires quite some vulnerability, actually, to be able to share what's going on for you. It requires quite some self-knowing and self-responsibility to not actually go into victim. I found when I had the thought, I'm going to call somebody, I actually felt like that was the victim part of me, creating a bit of a drama around it. And I knew that was actually going to amp it all up and make it feel worse for me. So I just decided to take my power back and be with the experience and take care of myself. And, if it worsened, I would have called somebody, but it didn't get to that. Yeah, so relating to others when we've got hormonal shifts going on is and can be, it's not, and not every woman goes through it, but for those of us that do have certain experiences, it can make relationships feel quite challenging. A lot of the first year that I was with my husband James was when I first went into perimenopause, and all these symptoms just suddenly flared up. I swear it felt like overnight. And we were in very much the honeymoon phase of our relationship. We just met, we just moved in together. We're blending our families, and suddenly I was going to bed at night wrapped in towels because I was sweating so profusely. I suddenly, out of nowhere, got cystic acne. My anxiety came up. I was like, what the hell is going on with me? And I was just, we must have been together for about 6 months at this point. So it's still quite new. I mean, we knew we were going to be, we just knew we were the right fit pretty instantly, which is why we moved in together so quickly. And I was able to be open and honest with him, but boy, did it test my ability to be vulnerable and open and able to communicate to him what was going on for me, especially when there was a period of time there where I didn't know what was going on for me. I didn't know it was hormonal. So it's very challenging, and getting our partners on board, especially if they're men, can be challenging because it's a whole re-education. Like, we women are learning, we're having to educate ourselves and all this, aren't we? We feel pretty clueless. The poor men in our lives haven't got a clue either. So helping them to understand and navigate it is a whole other thing. And then if you're single and going through this and the variety of different symptoms that can come with perimenopause and menopause, really loving yourself, taking care of yourself, having that conscious relationship with yourself becomes so key when you're dating. But dating with this going on it can feel really challenging. It's why I'm so passionate about supporting midlife women who are single, because the dating game has changed to when you used to date back in your 20s. It has changed, and you're at a certain point of time in your life that what you're bringing to the table is very different to when you're in your 20s, maybe even your 30s. It's very different. The package that you are is very different. The responsibilities that you have is very different from, family to work to, all the things. And then you've got hormones on top of it. It's a unique time in our life. And I know there's a couple of comments there, and I will read those in just a sec. What really came to me today on the back of this panic attack was just how, it's quite a gift actually, but just how profoundly at this point in life, our body is basically saying to us in no uncertain terms, it's time you listen to me. Take me seriously. Take some responsibility for yourself. You cannot cruise on unconscious autopilot through life for one more moment. Your body is literally slapping you around the face saying, it is time to love yourself. Unapologetically, no more excuses. Get over the fact that you think self-love is egotistical. Get over the idea that you don't know where to begin. Figure it out. And that's what I can help you with. Figure it out. Get over the idea that it's selfish. It is time to love yourself. You cannot have the healthy relationship you desire, whether you're in one and want it to deepen or get better, or if you're single and calling somebody in. You can't have that relationship without really loving yourself, without really being able to take care for yourself. The qualities that you desire in the other person, you are not a vibrational match for somebody who can give you those qualities, that you can be the recipient of those qualities if you aren't vibrating those qualities, if you aren't being that, if you aren't being how you desire to be treated, if you can't do that for yourself first, you are not a vibrational match. Midlife, when our hormones start really shifting, is such an opportunity to really, really begin to take care of ourselves, to really love ourselves and nurture ourselves to the degree that we can then create really nurturing relationships. So today, that was a really good reminder for me, because although I do take very good care of myself and I do live very consciously, something is clearly out of whack, right? I believe that, I really stand by the belief that hormones are highlighters. And while I'm not particularly worried about anything in my day to day, if I go a bit more macro, I have some worries and anxieties. And there has been a busyness to my life lately. Again, I'm good at taking care of myself through that. I've got quite good masculine, feminine balance going on. And I had to stop and ask myself, am I off track here? Am I off kilter? Am I really not taking care of myself to the degree that I need at the moment? Am I being too busy? Yes, is the resounding answer. And my body is saying, and so stop, and so slow down. And so just be really, really kind to yourself. I went to Pilates just before coming on here. And while I was in Pilates, I felt it so profoundly, this idea of, okay, Katie, how could you be even more kind and gentle with yourself today? Because apparently that's what you need. How could you take the pressure off yourself today? And honestly, today there's a few practical things in terms of, what I'm choosing to eat, and I've got my essential oils going, and but it's more than that. It's just a very subtle, it's a super subtle shift in my self-awareness. It's a super subtle shift in my energy where I'm just choosing to more intentionally be there for me today. And it's so subtle. It's a little realignment. It's a little course correct. It's energetic. It's not that practical, because that's not what I need today. Like I'm pretty taken care of. It's more for me personally today. It's a little subtle course correct. And instantly, without awareness, while I was in Pilates, there I am aligning my body, and then I could feel my energy just aligning to take my power back with that awareness. It just took my power back. I felt like, okay, see, I can get a breath in now. Right down into my belly. I couldn't do that earlier today. It was right up here. And it feels good. It's my body inviting me to just, how could I be there even more for myself today? Dating and relationships is hard when we don't know how to be there for ourselves. Hormones just add a whole other little twist. I'm going to take a quick look at the comments and then I will say goodbye. Thank you, those of you who stayed on the whole time. Sandy, hello. How are you? It's been ages. I was sharing with a 47-year-old lovely lady and she broke down. She's had her mom and dad passing within 2 years and she's gone on HRT. She's ashamed but was grateful she could share. I'll forward this to her. Oh, my pleasure, darling. And yeah, I'm 47. I'll be 48 in July. I'm hoping I'll be in Sydney. Wendy, I can see you've just joined. I'm hoping I'll be in Sydney for my birthday at the end of July. Watch this space. This today, though, has had me reflect on my mum. She was 49 when she died and she overdosed. So she took her own life. I was about to say chose to. I don't think she chose to. I know she knew what she was doing, but then there was an element of she didn't know what she was doing because she was so, quite frankly, out of control, out of her power with anxiety, depression, and I wouldn't be bloody surprised, panic. And at no point in her life, when I knew her then, leading up to her being 49 and then dying, was it ever mentioned that she might be in something called perimenopause. She was just being treated for anxiety and depression. And I for years and years thought my mum committed suicide because she was clinically depressed, because that's what the doctors said, that's what her psychotherapist said, that's what we were told. She's clinically depressed, and that's what led her to do what she did. I think there's a whole other story going on there that nobody acknowledged, and my mum absolutely didn't know that she was going through massive hormone shifts. I'll never forget, about 6 months before she died, I remember her getting this huge spot here, might have been here, massive, like cystic pimple. And I didn't really think anything of it at the time. I was like, Mum, what's going on with your face? We sort of joked about it. But I can see now, looking back, well, I got that all over my face when I first hit perimenopause. And it's hormones. She had massive hormone shifts going on. I remember her getting hot, and we joke hot flush, but it was never taken seriously because she was under 50. And it was like the thinking then was, well, you don't get into menopause until you're over 50, and Mum wasn't there yet. And perimenopause wasn't a thing that anyone seemed to know about or talk about. So I think that Mum probably suffered, well, I know she did when I reflect back, panic attacks, anxiety, depression. Some of it was situational. Some of it was things that had happened in her life consistently over a long period of time. And she didn't have the awareness that we have now, the support that we have now. She didn't, I mean, my God, how much I wish that someone, actually, I don't know how this is going to come across, but someone like me to have been there with her, to guide her, to help her. She was a single woman, 49, just broke up with her boyfriend, having to find somewhere else to live, starting her life over, looking to begin a new career. She was absolutely at that point of I'm about to embark on part 2 of my life. But she was doing it with her eyes closed, from a state of panic and worry, not understanding her body. And yeah, how the hell do you embark on a new chapter in your life when you're in that place? It's just terrifying. She would have been terrified. So I'm very grateful right now to know what I know and to be able to support myself the way I can support myself, and to be able to share it like this. Thank God for this, that we can do this together. The fact, if we can talk like this, be in sisterhood like this, just be honest and real about it, we're saving lives. Literally saving lives. I really believe that. I really, really believe that. Oh, Jodie's here. Hi, darling. So glad I tuned into this today. Love you lots, and thank you for sharing your valuable wisdom. Mwah. My pleasure. It's really, really nice to have you. Yeah, Wendy's here. Hi, honey. I'm so glad you needed this. Yeah, I know. We'll have to meet up in Sydney. Watch this space, like I said. Thanks. So true. We need to work on ourselves first. Be ready. We do. This is the work. We absolutely do. Yes, Layla. We always need the reminders. Yeah, Sandy, it's what a shame, right? What a shame. How, oh my God, if I even start talking about it, I'll start crying. But how much do I wish that my son could have hung out with his grandma? Oh, makes me feel sick just thinking about how much I want that and could never have it. Oh, okay. You guys are definitely going to get me crying now. I told you I'm at that delicate time of the month. I'll cry, I'll cry at anything. Yes. Thank you, Wendy. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Helen. I appreciate it, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Layla, thank you. All right, my darlings. Well, look, I share to be helpful. And for those of you who are in the Love Lounge, if this has sparked anything for you, if anything's come up for you, please jump into our private Facebook group and share and reach out for support. You're not on your own. Okay, that's what our space is for. If you'd like to come and join us in the Love Lounge, you're so welcome. We're doing a 7-day free trial. There's always, these days I haven't stopped it. There's always a 7-day free trial. So you can try it and see if you like us and see if you can receive value from it. And if you do, you can stay. And if you don't, you can leave. No problem. Okay, there's a link somewhere up or below for you to come check it out. Thank you guys so much for joining. Andy's saying I'm very tearful today. We've got a call later. I can't wait for that. I'm really looking forward to seeing you, Lindy. All right, darlings. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'll see you next week. Have a good one. And share this with women who you know need to hear this, okay? We aren't on our own. Please share it with whoever needs to hear it, okay? Bye.